All right, it's time to play These Are People! Yeah.
What's going on, people? This right here is just basically a quick guide to the Nightfall Heist Battleground on the moon.
Maria, select your person.
Oh my god, what is happening?
For the modifiers this week, it's Unstoppable and Barrier.
Just pick a person.
I just pick a person, anything?
Any person.
I'm gonna go for the dude in the middle.
Plus Void Burn coming in, Outgoing Strand, and Arc Surge, so you're going to want to have a loadout that builds into that somewhat. For my loadout, I went with a Wish Ender, an Unstoppable Fusion Rifle, and a Storm Chaser with Vorpal Weapon because of the Arc Weapon Surge, but you know, next week if it's Solar or whatever, you may want to choose a different weapon. And then the other two people on my fire team were another Invisible Hunter and a Warlock with a Well in Phoenix Protocol so we could be protected. Make sure you have double Void Resistance on and a Concussive Dampener on because the grenades and snipers are going to be shooting up at you while you're in the cheese spots. And I would highly, highly recommend doing a double Kinetic Weapon Surge to go along with Wish Ender over there, especially when paired with Semi-Auto Striker. Your Wish Ender is going to just be slapping people left and right. You know, as far as other classes goes, as long as you have one Invisible Hunter who feels pretty confident about staying invisible and staying alive, you should be good. Having two just makes things even safer, but other than that, maybe a second Warlock would also be good. And if you're a Titan, well, you know, just go fuck yourself. No, I'm kidding. I mean, this first part here is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, there's not much need for a guide for it. I'll show some of the highlights here, but the main thing is taking out all these barrier knights as quickly as possible. I mean, every champion, obviously. There's also a heavy box here at the beginning, so make liberal use of all your heavy ammo, right? Because you're going to get a full refill for free. Right after you kill this wizard is when this guy spawns. You'd do your best to kill this guy before he gets over to the goddamn pillar over there, otherwise it's going to be annoying. I mean, I have killed him successfully before. It's not the end of the world if he makes it over there, but unless your whole team is focused on him, he's going to make it over there, and then everyone's going to basically just get an overshield. Plus, in this run, he decided to hide from me. Keep chipping away at him slowly but surely, and he will eventually die. Then everyone else will die with their overshields, and you can move on. If you have a second Invisible Hunter and they're running Orpheus Rig on their pants, they can just fire tethers out for days, along with wells for days from the Warlock, and that'll help clear this out a little bit faster. Right there, that's a good spot to throw a tether. That's one of my favorite spots to throw a tether. There's like 27 people over there, including a couple champions. And then at the very end here, one last critical detail. There is like this big yellow bar knight that's not a champion. I think yeah, that's the guy. He just spawned in. Make sure you kill the barrier knights and the unstoppable champions before you kill that big fucker. Otherwise, you will not get platinum rewards at the end of this.
That did it. Hatch opening and setting that perimeter tower to friendly. You're welcome.
Oh, and then you get to go inside the bunker, which, you know, as hard as these are, I'm a big fan of the aesthetics of these.
If anyone can outmaneuver Zebu Arath, it's Rasputin.
Nah, it turns out it's Eris Morn being a fucking hive god. No, but I'm saying this bunker is pretty cool. I'm glad they kept it in the game because the design of this place, I don't know if it's, maybe art style is a better word. Either way, the kinetic weapon boost on the Wish Ender, people, I'm telling you, especially on a Grandmaster, it feels real good. This room right here, there's only just 2 screams on the left. You gotta kind of, that's really it. Nothing too bad. Chieftain. Working your way through the halls slowly but surely and methodically. I always think it's like this is going to be the room, but nope, it's the next room. That chieftain in the back with the arc is kind of bad, but you know, just fuck him up. And then finally, after like 7 goddamn rooms where you think this has got to be the next room, we're finally getting to it. You get to this room, the first very troublesome room of this Grandmaster. The cheese is is that you go up to the roof and you hide like a real cool guy while the one invisible hunter of the group stays down in the mix with everyone and keeps the ghost going. So you start right here on this random little spot, jump up over here, clamber up onto this, and then you hop up onto this pipe right next to you, and then jump across, and boom, you can crouch down, work your way over here. Oh, you can go all around the top of this roof area. You can aim down on multiple sides, take a lot of people out. The only problem with this is that if you die up here, someone else is going to have to come up here to revive you. But this is the spot where the two people should go to hang out. It's just a matter of actually, you know, getting familiar with jumping. And if you're not very good at jumping, it might take you a couple minutes to get these jumps down. Do not go to this platform right here. You will die in a second. Once both people get up there, you're ready to start this process. Now, this room is definitely one of the rooms where people wipe most often, so I'm just going to let it play out in its entirety. Essentially, you start the encounter. You're an invisible hunter with the graviton forfeit on, ideally, so you've got long invisibility time, especially if you've got that, you know, whatever fragment it is on your subclass. What people don't realize about graviton forfeit is if you're surrounded by enemies, your smoke bomb recharges faster than your invisibility runs out. So you can infinitely just keep spamming smoke bomb and doing this and staying alive next to huge groups of enemies. Around 25% champions are going to appear. And at this point, you want to go back up to your safe spot and hide. Because the champions and the one strong, you know, sniper or whatever, they're going to go to the spot right here and prevent your ghost from doing his thing anyway. This spot that I just jumped up to right here, this is the spot where I like to, where like the third invisible hunter is. I like to hang out here in this spot. Void snipers are one of your biggest threats. Do not try to push too far forward with your tether. I tried to like lean out and shoot a tether down, and I got killed immediately by a void sniper. So again, just play real cautious and back. Another fun little thing is this hole in the floor right here. You literally can shoot enemies through this tiny little crevice or crack in the floor, and most of the shots they shoot back at you, they cannot hit you with. Although it seems like you can get hit from behind by something. I don't know. You just want to watch your health bar, be cautious, crouch, and just hang out for a moment if you need to, obviously, and just play it safe, all right? Dying in this situation is the kind of thing that can wipe the whole team. So just slowly but surely pick apart as many of these enemies as you can. And keep in mind that these raiders and stuff, they're just going to never stop spawning. The only way to progress this is to kill the champions and the yellow bar sniper as quickly as possible, and then get down there and continue the, I don't know, whatever you call it, the hacking process. One champion down, one left. Again, avoid those snipers because it does not take more than 2 of them to get. I think even if they hit you in the head, I think headshots might be a thing in this game, so. I like to use Wish Ender and kind of peek before I even go over the edge and know where the sniper might be. Boom, another one dead. From up top, it might be kind of hard for some of your teammates to hit these champions, but the champions and the yellow bars, they will all go right about to this spot where we're shooting down at right now. So generally speaking, if they just peek over the edge, they can help you out a little bit. Like you see Drama up top just stunned him. And now he's dead. Once everyone down there is dead, the invisible guy is free to basically go down and keep doing his thing. All you have to do is go and redeploy your ghosts. And then it's the same song and dance with just going invisible. If you're near big groups of enemies, your smoke bomb's going to recharge instantly, basically, before it runs out. So again, boom, chilling. Do not land on that solar guy, though, because he can one-shot you in the split second that you're visible. Like, just gotta stay away from him. And again, around 50%, 2 more champions are gonna come out and that yellow bar. So again, you're gonna wanna go up top to here, to this nice little safe, cozy spot. Same deal as before, rinse and repeat. You take out these yellow bars and whatnot, albeit a little bit slowly if you're playing it extra safe. I mean, these snipers, again, they can one-shot you pretty quickly. But, you know, just slowly but sure. I like to fire right about there with the tether. Maybe that was a little bit high, actually. But fuck this man's day up. Careful not to overcommit and die horribly to a sniper. Because if someone goes down, it becomes not a great situation. Like that right there. Not ideal, but Vince was one of the other invisible snipers. Or, I'm sorry, one of the other invisible hunters. So it's not the end of the world. Pretty much once Unstoppable Man there dies, I'll go down and get him. But, you know, you got to be conscious of the constantly respawning snipers that basically one-tap you if you give them a chance. Again, maybe it was a little overcautious here, but you don't want to have to restart from the beginning after, like, spending 15 or 20 minutes getting to this point. See, look, 2 more snipers just ready and waiting, trying to catch me slacking. And then once he is finishable, I should be able to just go down there, which he is, but even then, whatever. By the way, if anyone up top on your fire team on the roof dies at any point, you can pull this move, hop across, hop back up, and bing, bang, bong, you got them revived like a real cool guy. So, you know, it's not the end of the world if someone up there dies, but it's a lot harder for someone up top, especially who can't go invisible, to go down and try to get to the spot where I was just hanging out. I was just making sure the yellow bar was dead, or hopefully dead, or whatever. I start running around here, not realizing, oh yeah, right, I'm supposed to deploy the ghost again. But maintaining invisibility is the most important thing, so just stay near large groups of enemies and your smoke bomb comes back real quickly. And then, you know, again, same thing, rinse and repeat. It's going to get to 75%, and I think there's going to be one more group of, you know, champions and the yellow bar sniper that comes out. Yeah, just play it safe, play it cautious, keep going invisible. Yep, 2 new champions. I'm getting the fuck out of here just to be even extra safe because my void invisibility is going to run out. I'm doing it there. And then I miss the jump, and I have a moment of panic, like, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But it's alright. Comes back quickly enough. Turn around. Go up. Void invisibility again. Just look, just people, play your life. Don't do anything too risky. Make sure you get up. If you're, like, visible for a moment, any one of those snipers will shoot you out of the sky and kill you. Right about there. It's not a half bad tether spot. Either way, people, just keep the constantly respawning snipers in mind. Deploy the ghost again. And then look at this. All of a sudden, 87%. They actually had already killed one of the champions while I was, like, trying to struggle and get my way back up. So, as long as every one of the champions in those waves dies, you should be good. And you don't even need to worry about this big-ass ogre right there. And you're chilling. And then that is this room finished. Ignore the time on the bottom right, all right? It definitely didn't take my teammates like 8 minutes to learn how to do the jumps, all right? It's fine. You know, obviously avoid these lasers of death very slowly but surely, because they will one-tap and kill you. And then we get to this section right here, people. Easiest thing I found was to have one person go over to the right and deal with this group of people, while the other two go up above the middle and get that free, easy one. If you do the smoke bomb thing, it literally disorients any enemies that are near you. And I totally forgot that that was a thing, and it felt very, very silly after I remembered that's totally a thing. So, yeah. When you have this thing right here, you can do your dive and you will still hold on to it. But if you try to do the dodge, you will drop it. To be very cautious, if you waste even a couple of these, you will need a third one. So that's why you see me sort of tap in it. Because I don't want to waste even one. If, however, you run out and need a third one, the one on the right will respawn, assuming you have enough time. If the timer does run out, it's not the end of the world. You just get an extra champion. You don't need to kill that extra champion to get platinum, all right? Don't worry about it. Then we get to the final boss room right here, which there's two ways to get up to the cheese spot. This first one right here is one of my favorites. You just kind of have to be cautious that you don't accidentally fall off the top of that diamond. But you hop on top of it, run up this pipe right here, and bing bong.
Bing bong.
Look at you, you're on the roof. On these catwalks in places where they really can't hit you. I mean, they can snipe you a little bit, but you're basically chilling right here. There's also a spot in the back of the room that Drama attempts to use right now. The only problem with that spot is that there is a death wall back there. And the problem with this spot is if you mess up jumps, you can fall off the sides very easily. But unlike the spot back there, here where Drama died, this is the death wall that you do not want to try to go past. If you go past the spot where I'm standing right now, you'll die like Drama does, and no one will be able to revive you.
Fuck your life! Bing bong!
Every time you're revived, you will immediately die, using up revives and making the last two members of your team two-man this final attempt. But as long as you don't go up to that spot, you go to that spot, you jump up onto the pipe right here, turn around, and bing bong, you're up in the catwalks to the ceiling. You can also get on top of the pipes like Vince there, but honestly I recommend hanging out in the catwalks slightly below. You'll have better angles on trying to clear everyone out. Like this pocket right here is my favorite place to hang out. You have a really good angle on a lot of people across the side of the map. Over here you can also get angles on the other side, but grenades come up more easily, so be cautious on this side. The other two can really just hang out in the middle here, put wells down, just peek over the edges. Just avoid the snipers, and you should be good money, even with a random LFG fire team. And then I totally forgot to do it here, but everyone should pre-fire their supers off before you start the encounter, because you will get them back immediately. But yeah, once that happens, go invisible, pop over here, don't hit the death wall, jump up, go invisible again so I don't get sniped by the best snipers ever. And bing bong, up on the catwalk with everyone where it is insanely safer than being down there. Be cautious, but once you're here, you know, peek over the ledge, take out snipe. Like, if one sniper like that hits you, just, you know, take cover, heal back up, don't take any chances. There are, like, slight invisible walls on the edges of some of these spots that you'll see the arrows clip onto. But, you know, periodically as you do damage to the boss, new waves of enemies will spawn, indicated by that sound in the background you just heard right there. So that things don't get too hectic, you may want to focus on a bit of ad control, taking out those yellow bar snipers especially. Because if you just let the ads continuously spawn, by the end of it, you're going to have just the entire room full of people throwing grenades and trying to snipe you. Not trying to get sniped while I'm hanging out up here, especially when a grenade comes up like that. You really don't want to have to do this, like, multiple times. Like, ideally, you want to do it once, maybe twice. Occasional tethers like that are always fun, you know. especially when a second group of ads comes in and gets affected by them. And then, yeah, Fuckface McGee is over there. Weakening grenades on a Void Hunter can also do really good. Essentially, they act like a tether in terms of the debuff you get going. Slowly, oh god. You know, again, that'll happen occasionally. If you really want to be safe, you should hang out with your Well Warlock, and he should be putting wells down often with Phoenix Protocol active so that you guys are constantly safer and getting, you know, supers back. We didn't do that this round. It's not the end of the world, but that would be probably the safest bet, would be if the Warlock was standing over here on the plate with the two of us. So once you get to this point, really it's the two unstoppables down here that are the big problem you got to deal with. Once those two unstops are dead, then the Void Hunter can go down and start doing their thing, but I would not go down off the catwalks until those two unstops are dead. That man just died in that crevice, but keep in mind, that's not the crevice I was talking about before. That's my favorite one. Here is where I learned a trick that I never knew before. I cannot revive him. His spawn point is just glitched out and fucked. So at this point, we were just kind of like, well, goddamn, I guess we're about to two-man this situation right now. We were slowly working on the champions. And this man was like, no, I've got the strategy in place, people. Watch. He doesn't, like, just leave the activity and go to orbit or anything. Opens up, like, you know, the home screen on the Xbox or PlayStation and quits the app completely, right? From there, restarts the app, and upon loading in, the game asks him, like, hey, do you want to rejoin right now? And he's like, sure, I'll rejoin. And once he rejoins, instead of spawning in dead, he spawns in alive. So at this point, as a Void Hunter, you go down, start picking up some of these batteries and work your way to... Oh, there's an unstop that we didn't kill. Jesus Christ. I see the unstoppable, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to nope my way out of this situation, go back to being invisible, and go up top until that guy's dead, because I want no part of his invisible fucking stomping ass. Run my way back up the pipes, get up here, and I'm like, all right, we're just going to take that guy out. Here is an example of how deadly it is to try to cross even for a moment. I mean, granted, I stayed there for like a second, but you will die like that, especially with an unstop looking up at you firing lightning. However, check out my man Vince here, showing that this tactic actually does work if you're ever in a Grandmaster and this happens to you. And look, boom, man spawned in, alive, went invisible immediately. So shout out to Vince there for the dope little trick. Goes invisible, comes over, hits me with the revive. Invisible again. I don't know how I survived that slam. Oh, Omnioculus actually is how I survived with the resist. So shout out to Omnioculus. And then at this point, we just decide, you know what? I'm just going to stay downstairs and fuck up this goddamn unstoppable. Because I was not having an easy time trying to hit him otherwise. So I stay invisible, work my way over, find out where this man's hiding. Fucking kill this thing. Oh my god, he's not dead. There you go. Get the finisher. And then proceed as normal. Where man up top is trying to kill these guys and create the things for me. I'm helping out a little bit since the third guy is also not up top. But it's easy. Just go invisible. Start depositing. Once those two unstops are dead, it becomes way less of a hassle. I mean, more enemies will keep spawning in. Just stay invisible with a mix of finishers and doing the invisible thing and all that stuff. And slowly but surely, people, you will work your way and do all the stuff like a real cool guy. Bing bong. Last one. We're chilling. Damage resistance. Shout out to Vince. And then you've got all 5. And then from there, it's the same thing as before, where essentially you go back to the top. I mean, Vince, I think, opts to stay downstairs, but I'm not sure if it works out well for him or not. But, you know, work your way up here, rinse and repeat, and he will be dead before you know it, people. Just a mix of wish enders and linear fusion rifles and machine guns. And some tethers for good measure. And, you know, if darkness envelops you for whatever reason, you know, that's not ideal, because then you have no revives left. If someone goes down, you're fucked. But just play it extra cautious. This man's almost dead. Don't judge me on the length of this run right now. Just all the comments. Just, yep, this is terrible. Slowly but surely fucking this man up. I mean, at this point, you probably don't have to worry so much about the excess ads. You can probably just focus on the main boss. There's no other champions you have to worry about, but still, one of those snipers is all it takes to really take you out. And then that's it, people. There you go.
Has our moon been overrun by vermin? Is the city this weak?
The hive aren't so easy to root out. If we tried.
Then destroy the moon. I could have replaced it with a singularity. Or
Man's talking about
a
destroying the
station
moon.
to
That's
maintain
crazy.
tidal.
You know the spiel. Check the channel, leave a like, thumbs up, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Do all this stuff. Really appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Bam. Later.